Welcome, guys, to the WrestleBuddy podcast. I am your host, Andy, back again, first time in a couple of weeks, and I'm joined by some great guests today. We've got WrestleBuddy Nick, our regular. How are we doing, Nick?
I'm good, mate. Absolutely fantastic week, so can't complain.
And we've got Zane, if he's there. Are you there, Zane? Come in.
Yeah, I am unfortunately here. Might not be for long, but
typical. Just start the whole podcast on a downer as usual, Zane.
Stop being mean to him. You were already being a racist to him before, so let's not start this.
Yeah, he was being racist.
And then we've got a very special guest, Al Bam in real life. How are we doing?
I'm good. I've had a long week, but I'm okay.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, guys. Well, this week it's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, let's give Zane a round of applause for the absolute shit show that he done last week, and well done to Jimmy for keeping it right. Well in, Jim.
Yes. Well done, Jimmy.
Just so you know, guys, that Jimmy's actually not here this week because he's got sore shoulders from carrying Zane last week, so
his back
he had to have some time off. His back's killing him. Yeah, bless him. But anyway, guys, back to the podcast. So this week we are in a little bit different. So we're going to be doing our predictions for tomorrow's WrestleMania Backlash, first pay-per-view after WrestleMania, and they start coming a bit thick and fast after this one, don't they? Which is good. Get this one out the way, and then we've got some good pay-per-views coming up: Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, etc., etc. What are we all thinking first, though, about the pay-per-view? And what do you reckon about this pay-per-view? Are you happy with it? What do you think of the card?
Definitely silent. I don't actually know what the card is. That's terrible.
Okay, well, let's go through the card then, top to bottom. So, that is shocking. You call yourself a wrestling journalist and you don't even know what the cards are. God,
I mean, to be honest,
do you know what?
To be honest, I don't watch.
Bam, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm not even mad. I'd expect that from Zane, not you. Nick, what would you think of the card, mate? How do you think the card's going to go?
It's not too bad. I mean, it's essentially just rematches, which is sometimes a good thing. I think Cody Seth's going to be good. I was really looking forward to the tag team title unification match, but because Roman Reigns is obviously not injured, they've changed the main event. And made it the six-man tag now with Drew, which is fine because I suppose it starts the program with Drew off, which we have to get to at some point.
Courtney. Yeah, as Jimmy says there, mate, it's got the potential to be a good wrestling card, because there's nothing stand out on it, so they're going to have to make their own thing, isn't it? Which is a good thing, you know. We can't always have it the same thing, though, isn't it?
No, well, they've got to make a change every now and then. And like I say, the match card lineup's actually pretty good. I mean, WrestleMania was pretty good, and they're essentially WrestleMania rematches. I think this six-man's going to be a wild brawl, and that'll be a good laugh. But as I say, Edge versus AJ, which I think is on this card, should be a really good match. I really enjoyed the chess match they had at WrestleMania. And I'm just really looking forward to Cody Seth, as long as they don't go 50-50 booking and have Cody lose.
I don't think that. Right, okay, well, we'll get into the matches in a bit more detail as we go on. Zane, what's your thoughts on this card, mate? You liking it? You're not? Indifferent? Oh, God, we've lost them already.
He'll come back.
We'll come back to you, Zane. So my thoughts on the card is, for one, I think it's got a really good potential to be a good card. I feel like sometimes these pay-per-views, they try and throw stuff in there just for the sake of it, where this time round I feel like they've kind of gone for the solid card. I like the way I know a lot of people complain about the fact that Roman's not defending the belt on there, but I feel like Roman, with his long reign, and it looks like he's going to continue that for a while, is you can't have him on every pay-per-view, because otherwise it'll just grow very, very tiresome, and the fact that they're going the bloodline with the, and the tag team title looks like they're going to be unified at some point soon, probably on one of the more A shows. No problem with that at all. No problem with that at all. So yeah, I'm happy with where things are going with that. So let's, it's going to be interesting to see how things up. But let's have a rundown of the card anyway. So we've got Bobby Lashley versus Omos, Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss, Edge versus AJ Styles with Damian Priest banned from ringside, Cody versus Seth Rollins, the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. And the main event, SmackDown Women's Championships, I Quit, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. 6 matches on the card, which is interesting.
There's like one good match on the card.
But is there only one more match on the card, Bam? Because that's the thing, you see. It's like every one of these have got a potential to be a banger. Really has.
Not Charlotte Flair versus Ronda, because Ronda can't wrestle.
But Charlotte can, and Charlotte can carry her, so...
yeah, but I don't want to watch a carry job. Like, if I wanted to watch a carry job, like, like everything she's done has been a carry job.
The thing is, Ronda is a very established athlete. So, realistically, if she carries on learning and, going in with people like Charlotte who can, I don't like Charlotte personally. I don't rate Charlotte one bit. I think Charlotte Flair without a belt is lost, and for me that's always an issue. That shows you where somebody is as a performer. She might be a really good wrestler, but she's not a great performer. Ronda Rousey, whether you like her or you don't, she brings a lot of eyes to the product.
It's just unfortunate that there's people who have come from the same world that are substantially better than her in every single way. And that
who are you talking about?
Shayna Baszler,
Sonya
Deville, Marina Shafir, Paige Van Zandt already looks amazing. Her mic skills are good.
Yeah, but you've got to give Ronda a bit of credit. She's had less than 50 matches.
Yeah,
so,
and she's doing well.
You can't teach in.
Paige Van Zandt doesn't look like anything. She looks like she'll just go over to her OnlyFans at some point, which is what she's best at. I don't think Paige Van Zandt's shown anything that she can do well at the moment. From what I've seen of it, I'm not saying she's any better than Ronda thingy. Shayna Baszler, unfortunately, she's not a draw. She just isn't. No matter which way you put it, she isn't a headliner of a card. Ronda is. Whether you like it or you don't, she brings that mainstream eyes to the product. So, what's your thoughts on that? Charlotte versus Ronda?
I feel like it's not a match I'm particularly looking forward to seeing, although there are a few matches on the card which will definitely steal the show. And overall, the card is pretty strong.
So close.
Zayn again.
So close.
So
close. We were nearly there. Right. Well, anyway, let's go on the card. We'll start off with Bobby Lashley. Oh, Zayn, are you back?
Are you back, Zayn?
He's back. He's not.
Yeah,
is he
are you alive?
Okay, let's start off from the start of the card, and then we'll get to Charlotte and Ronda at some point soon. So we've got to go for the first match of the card: Bobby Lashley versus Omos. I like the way that they've put MVP with Omos. I really do. I think he's going to help him, and I think he'll help him in a long thingy, in a lot of thingies, a lot of ways. Sorry, just let me read these comments out. Agree with Bam. Ronda has the star power, but other than that, there's not much there, and wears off after a while. It really does, but at the same time, she gets ratings. Jade Cargill's another one. Green as hell, doesn't wrestle very well. But it's being proven that in the quarter hour when she's wrestling, she makes, she gets the ratings in. So, it just shows you it's not all about what they do in the ring, unfortunately. Not saying that it shouldn't be, but unfortunately it's not. But anyway, Bobby Lashley versus Omos. I feel like that'll be a really good match. Bobby, if anyone can get a good match out of him, it's Bobby. And I believe also as well is Bobby will teach him in the ring. I always think back to Nick. Do you remember when Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, and Strowman took a few liberties in the ring, and Brock soon,
one of my favourite matches.
Yeah, that was fun. That was Slow Down Kid. No, I've got a feeling that this Bobby's going to drag something special out of Omos, because so far we've not seen a lot We've seen what you expect from a WWE giant who's quite green. A lot of power moves, a lot of big man shit. But I think Bobby's going to make him work tomorrow night, should I say, if that makes any sense. And because Bobby Lashley's a workhorse, and he generally doesn't phone in his matches. He's going to want to, if Omos is going over, which he probably is, Bobby's going to want to make sure he looks like gold.
I don't know whether Bobby will go. What's your thoughts on this, Pam? Do you think Bobby goes over in this one?
I would like him to.
Yeah.
I would like him to, because I don't like Omos. I don't think he's very good. I have no interest in him, but that's like a personal thing. I personally don't like big monsters who can do nothing in the ring. I prefer bigger guys who can show what they can do. I prefer Tomohiro Ishii to an Omos. You know? I'd rather have a big guy who can do what everyone else can do. And I love Bobby Lashley, and I like the way he's been presented like he was in Impact, which is what I've been asking for so long, and it's just nice seeing him like that.
Okay. Interesting. What's your thoughts on this match, Zane?
If Omos can slap meat, I'm satisfied. Sticking to one sentence here. Just because my internet's going to give up.
He can predict the future, Zay.
Right, here we go again. So Jimmy does say the Drip King himself, Omos, so we can push the young guys that everyone says W never try to correct. Yeah, do you know what, mate? If that's what they want to do, Jim, that's what they do. Me personally, I don't see Omos going to the top. I feel like he's not going to get there. I don't know why. Do you know what Omos reminds me of? Zeus. Believe it or not, Zeus.
That's a good comparison.
That's what he reminds me of. But you know, I agree with Jimmy. If he is going to go across the thing, then it'll be a good way to try and build a new star, I suppose. And Bobby Lashley's a very credible name to have on your record. And then we've got the thingy there, isn't it? But if we don't give them the opportunities, we'll never know. No, of course, Jim, and that's why we're probably in the situation we're in at the moment with the likes of there's not a lot of credible threats to Roman, which is why the likes of Drew isn't being pulled the trigger on just yet, because at the end of the day they'll want to turn around and keep that for the big pay-per-view. So it'll be interesting to see who they do bring forward. I think Riddle's the one, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, Bobby Lashley or Omos, Bam?
Lashley.
Nick?
Omos.
Zane? Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to take that as Omos, right? And I'm going to say Omos. I think, you know, as Jimmy said, there's really, really good point to the fact that they've got to build new stars.
Well, I think they're building him to be the giant, the halfway boss of the company. I don't think, like you say, I don't think he'll ever be in the World Championship. But I think you don't need to be when you're that big. You're already an attraction, a spectacle. So as long as he draws...
See what Zane's for. Damn, Zane's looking really hot. And he did pick Omos. Courtney picks Omos as well. Interesting, really good. Thanks, Courtney. Okie doke. So we move on to our next match. We've got Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss. People moan and say lazy booking by WWE. We don't get a payoff and all like that. Well, I'm happy with this story. I think that the two of them I liked the two of them together. I thought they were so much fun. They were having a good laugh. It gave Corbin a new direction of his character. Madcap was brilliant in it, in my opinion. And you know, from there onwards, they've done really, really good things. So I'm happy with that. I hope this is the last match that they have. I hope they don't start doing a kind of, you know, Miz and Damian Priest like they did last year, where they just every pay-per-view for like 3 months they just faced each other. So I hope that's not the case. And 100% what Wrestling Jeebus says. Yeah, I love Madcap Moss as well, and I think there's a ton of potential there for him.
Agreed.
Zane, fuck off. Honest to God, I'm so good. His Wi-Fi has gone, Courtney, and I'm so happy that it has gone because he's a fucking idiot. Bam, what's your thoughts on this match?
Sorry, I read what Zane wrote, and I was like, classic Zane. I really like them together. I really, really enjoyed them. And I was actually really sad to see them break up because I know I like me a little team and they were fun and really annoying. And I kind of want Madcap to go over here, but I'm also still really angry about the fact that the End of Days got kicked out of. So I don't know how I feel. But like,
Okay.
you know, after this match, I can always just circle round to it again later on.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. I don't want to see this like for the next 3 or 4 months.
No, maybe SummerSlam. It'd be a good one to have them again. Interesting. Nick, what's your thoughts on this one, mate?
If you want to make a new star, you put him with the guy who makes new stars, and that is Baron Corbin. That guy is a complete
100%.
star maker. He's never going to be the star
That's
in
what
the
the
company.
Jib King said.
See, there you go, Jimmy. He is a complete star maker. Moss is new. He's got tons of potential. People are always complaining WWE doesn't push anybody new. They're pushing new people now. Give Moss a chance. The guy could go far.
Yeah, I like Moss. I really do. I think he's a really good character, and I like his whole presentation, and he looks good. And
I think he
everything
needs
else.
better ring attire.
Oh God, he's back. Hello, Zane.
Yay!
So yeah, Discord was running in the background for some reason. Sorry.
Stupid ass. Right. Okay, let's vote then. I'm not even going to ask you what you think on this match because you already told me. Nick, right? Corbin or Moss?
Moss.
Okay, Moss. Zane?
Moss.
Bam.
Moss.
Yeah, I'm going to go Moss as well. Full thingy. Okay, next match we'll go on to is Edge versus AJ Styles. We've seen obviously Edge starting his new faction, which we believe Rhea Ripley will be joining at some point soon, which would be a good move. Sorry, what we say here, just let's go back to here. Courtney loves to Madcap Moss. Corbin for Jimmy, Corbin Bebe, Moss, and Moss for Courtney. Yeah, so Edge just started up his new faction. It looks like we're going to get
The House of Purple.
House of Purple. We're going to get yeah, whatever it's bloody called. Hi Russ, how you doing, mate? We're going to get some more people who will add it to the point as we go. We've also had Finn Balor come out and kind of tease a bit of a Bullet Club thing going on with him and AJ, which would be quite good. You could maybe even get Cody involved with that, you know what I mean? So it'd be really good. Dino, how we doing, mate? Long time no see, yeah? WrestleMania, I think, last time, wasn't it, buddy? Hope you're well. Judgment Day. Okay, so on this one, again, it's just a rematch from WrestleMania. I think the WrestleMania. This is one of these matches where I'm happy to see the rematch because obviously we got the Damian Priest thing that cost in the first instance. So it'd be good to see these two go again. Like the match the first time, wasn't mad at the finish either because it set up something. Hopefully we get the blowout here as well. Bam, what's your thoughts on this match?
I didn't personally like the WrestleMania match.
Fucking hell, do you like any match?
What is wrong with you, woman?
Honest to God, every single bloody man. Oh, I don't like this match.
Well, if I don't like something, I don't like something, you know.
It was a perfect chess game. That was two veterans, the best of their respective generations, playing a game of mental chess with each other for 20 minutes. It was perfect.
I think the problem is maybe where it was on the card. Because I was just, like, bored to tears. And normally I love matches like that. So I don't know if it was because I was tired or, like, everything else was, like, I enjoyed. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was just something about the match that didn't click for me. And hopefully this one will be a little bit better. But I love the fact Finn did come out this week on Raw.
Yeah.
And even though Damian Priest is banned from inside, Finn Balor isn't. And I'd love to see something go down there.
Yeah. So do you think we're going to see a Finn Balor interference, Nick?
I hope so.
I hope not. I'll be honest, I hope not. I think the whole point of this is AJ proving he can beat Edge when there's no outside interference. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this match. AJ Styles is the best wrestler of his generation. Edge is one of the best wrestlers of his generation. They made, as I said, perfect chess game.
Nice one, wrestling with
Fair point. But I'm a boring person, so there we go.
Yeah.
No, but this match has a lot of potential to steal the show. I mean, it's not Cody Seth is probably going to steal the show, but if these two decide to go out there and make people go, follow this could be something really special. Because AJ, when he's on, is better than anybody in the world, and Edge, as a storyteller, is unsurpassed. They've got real potential with this match to deliver an absolute banger, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
I will agree with you on the AJ thing. When he is on, he is amazing. But I feel like in the last maybe year, he's lost something. He's just that spark that makes him phenomenal,
AJ.
that makes him like incredible. And I don't know what it is.
That's what happens when you get dumped in the WWE's exceptional tag division for like a year and a half.
Or when you get old.
Yeah, shut up there. Right, Zane.
Maybe.
So, do you know? Wait, hang on a minute, mate. I'll speak to you and then you reply. This is how this works, okay? Right. So, Dino says Finn heel turn, right? Which could be with the demon character. Now he would fit into Edge's kind of persona and his kind of group that he's trying to build, would he not?
Yeah, and I'm inclined to believe that Finn is turning heel because WWE, they have been teasing this Bullet Club thing even when Adam Cole was there with AJ and Finn, and they never pulled the trigger on this. They're not going to pull the trigger this time either. Finn is going to turn on AJ, and the reason that Damien is banned from
He nearly got
He's
through
banned
the entire
from
thought
ringside,
process.
so people think that he's going to do it, and then he's not. He's going to turn on Edge instead of helping out AJ. Is that what you're trying to say, Zane?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Finn is going to turn on AJ. Thanks, Dad.
Brilliant. You're welcome, mate. Right, okay then. Heel Finn is amazing. Yeah, I can see that, Court. I can see that's what he's going to do. Right, guys, let's vote then. Edge or AJ? Nick?
AJ.
Bam.
I have no idea. Kind of want Edge, mainly because this is a new faction and they really need, plus because they're bringing like young people in, it seems, they really need to push this forward and have them be dominant.
Yeah, okay. Zane? Okay, I think he's going to go with Edge. I'm going to pick Edge. I think Edge will win, and I do think Ballet will turn on AJ. Think AJ then goes missing for a little bit, pops back up probably around about Survivor Series time, maybe challenges Roman at some point around there. So yeah, that's where the thing is. Russ Morgan's gone with Edge win or will win, yeah. And Courtney says she loves Edge more, but she thinks AJ will win. Okay, on to our next match. We've got Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Absolutely amazeballs WrestleMania match. And it showed that you don't need a big story to build to it. Same again, really. You know, the formula worked the first time, did it not, Bam? Let's go again.
Yeah, I loved that match at WrestleMania. Plus, I kept telling myself, like, Cody wasn't going to show up, so I wasn't disappointed. So when it happened, I was really excited, and I love Cody's storytelling anyway. I love Seth's storytelling. They're both amazing wrestlers. I love the way in that match, like from their gear to the moves they were doing, hark back to Dusty versus Flair. Like, I love everything about it. You can tell they are real wrestlers. And I'm so excited for the rematch. Like, I'd rather the rematch wasn't so close, but we can circle back round later on to like expand on this. Like, you know, I'm very excited for this match. I really am. Yeah.
And I don't really see any benefit from Seth winning this match at all. I don't feel like it damages him. I feel like it knocks Cody's momentum at some point here, unless somebody comes in and costs Cody the match, which then builds into something else. You know, it could even be a disqualification where maybe Edge comes in and, you know, I don't know, something like that maybe. What's your thoughts, Nick?
I am super excited for this. Like, it was my favourite match from WrestleMania weekend. I am the biggest Cody Rhodes mark in the world. I love his style of professional wrestling. I love how much he harkens back to the 80s and the early 90s. Mixing that with Seth's exceptionally frenetic mid-2000s styles make matches, and it's just really good. But I'm hoping, like I said before, that they don't go WWE 50-50 booking and give Seth the win just to get to a rubber match, because it seems pointless. Cody's got the rocket strapped to him at the moment. You don't want to cool his jet yet.
Yeah.
It's, for me, have Cody win, send Seth into this mental spiral of despair that he is so good at portraying on television anyway, and then he can rebuild himself in another form, hopefully with a long-term feud with Kevin Owens again.
Cool. And what do you think, Zane?
I don't know. Andy's awesome.
Okay, cheers, Zane. Right, so let's have a look. I think Seth for the win for this one, but Cody will always be my favourite. Russ says Seth will get his win back, blow off down the road, and Cody will win 2-1. Only thing that sucks with this feud is where does each go from here after he beats Seth, who's next for Cody. I think for Cody, Jim, for me personally, it's a bit different because there's a lot of matches for him to have and a lot of people for him to go at, and I believe something like a Money in the Bank would be a good one for him. And I think he will cash it in, maybe. I don't know whether it might be him or it might be someone else, but that'd be a good move for him to go down Money in the Bank. You could throw him with RK Bro for a little bit if you wanted to, because the whole legacy thing and whatnot. But I do believe whoever wins Money in the Bank, whether it's Cody or not, will take one of the belts. As for Seth, I don't know what you do with him. I think you take him off telly for a little bit, or as Nick says, you make him go crazy, or give him a Intercontinental Championship or something like that.
Yeah, let him rebuild the mid card. So desperately needs rebuilding right now.
Yeah. Adrenaline my soul and his Wi-Fi is super slow. Okay, guys, well, let's get a vote on this one then. So, Cody Rhodes or Seth Rollins? Nick?
Cody all the way.
Bam?
Cody.
Brilliant, I'm going to go Cody as well. Okay, so our co-main event of the evening probably will end up being the main event. The Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. Really like the way they've put this together. Sometimes they can just throw stuff together and kind of just not make sense, but obviously with Drew and Roman having a bit of a thing on the go, the Usos and RK Bro looking for a bit of a unification somewhere along the line. Makes sense, does it not, Bam?
Yeah, it does. And I am gutted that the unification match isn't happening here, but I understand why, and it should be on a bigger pay-per-view. Premium live event. Jesus.
I mean, realistically, on this B plus though pay-per-view or premium live event, you could turn around and you could have the Usos versus RK Bro headlining, but I think they've made the right move here by bringing Roman into the match and Drew and getting some more star power on the card.
It's not just that, it's also because everyone is already involved. Once you mess with one member of the Bloodline, you mess with all of them. So it makes a lot of sense. Also, because the Usos are one of the best tag teams in the division, it makes more sense to put that unification match on a bigger show.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, and it will elevate the division, because honestly, the division isn't great and there's very few good tag teams.
There's very few tag teams, period.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So as Jimmy says, Nick, RK Bro in the storyline with Roman is needed. Two best storylines in WWE at the moment. He's not wrong, is he? You know, there's a reason why these two are the best storylines, the tag team. And the thing is, realistically, the tag team was neglected for so long and thrown on different people. It's good to see a bit of a resurgence and to have two actual teams in the Bloodline and RK Bro vying for the title. And it's not a surprise that it's not two thrown together teams, and it's doing well, isn't it?
Well, it's no secret. I freaking love tag team wrestling. And
Yes.
It's annoyed me for years that Vince's theory on tag team wrestling is tag teams only exist to create a single star. That is total and utter hogwash. Tag teams exist to sell twice as much as merch as single stars because there's two of them. That's the whole point. And RK Bro have proven this in the last 6 months. They were originally a brought together team that didn't make a lot of sense except for their name. But the chemistry that Randy and Matt Riddle have is insane.
Yeah. They're like the odd couple, aren't they?
Yeah. Randy Orton appears to be having more fun than he's had in years in his career. And the Usos are probably the best team WWE have had in the last decade. They're really, really good. But without Roman, they're not superstars. It's an unfortunate thing to say because of the way the tag team division is presented in WWE. They're not superstars. Randy Orton is a large part of the reason people are now paying attention to the tag division because Randy is that big a star. Matt Riddle wouldn't be where he was right now, as much as I love him, without Randy at his side. If you could have given Matt Riddle, say Madcap Moss as a partner, and you're going to tell me they're going to be in the position they're in right now?
No, but when he first comes to the main roster, the pop he got and everything else, everyone loves Riddle.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. He's stupidly popular. I mean, the man now has giraffes flying out of his feet for some God knows what reason he's doing SmackDown. But I honestly believe Randy is a huge part of the reason the tag team division's got so many eyes on it right now, combined with the fact that predominantly Jey Uso has been in the spotlight for so long on SmackDown, involved in the Bloodline story, and Jimmy's now there as well. But bringing Roman and Drew into this match, one, I think you do hold off on the title unification for a bigger pay-per-view. What's insane?
Don't you all think that they're depriving the card from having a men's world championship match by booking Roman in a tag match? Like Roman could have gone one-on-one with Shinsuke or Drew. No, I don't. Saying I feel like it's a really good point that they haven't done that. I feel like that the fact that you can't have Roman, he's had a long reign already, and from what WWE is saying, it's going to go through till next year when he faces The Rock. If that's the case, you can't have him on every pay-per-view. Don't want him on every pay-per-view. You're just going to overexpose you. And I'm happy for them to do this kind of... Get him on the card, but not everything is the title every time. So when he does defend the title, it becomes a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
I also have a feeling that Roman is a little bit hurt after Mania. His arm looked like it was in a bad way after that Mania match. And I think this is a way to have him on the card that still protects him.
But the thing is, he has been wrestling a lot of live matches with Drew McIntyre recently, and I've heard he's not showing any issues. So I think it's just a matter of just don't oversaturate it, or I hope it is, and that's where I think it is going to be the case. Okay, well, let's vote on this one then. Bloodline or RK Bro and Drew McIntyre? Nick?
Bloodline.
Bam?
Bloodline.
I'm going RK Bro and Drew.
Okay.
Because I think
you can have one of the Usos lose, so Roman's still protected.
Yeah, but also I feel like if Drew beats one of the Usos, what's Roman normally do when someone beats one of them?
Beats them up.
Very angry.
He gets very angry and he makes a beeline for that person. So, we could see now the Tribal Chief's going to have to step in and sort them out. Okie doke, so we'll move on to the main event of the evening, or we don't know which way this card's going to go. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Their match at WrestleMania was this shit. And before anyone says it, I don't think it was down to Becky Lynch. It's Ronda Rousey with it in ring work. I just thought the lack of chemistry between the two of them was plain as sight, wasn't it, Bam?
Oh, it was just I don't know, but obviously everyone knows I don't rate Ronda, but I actually really rate Charlotte as a wrestler, and I feel like the time she had off, because she did have that little bit of time off, she came back and she just seemed so much better with her character work. Admittedly, you were right what you mentioned earlier about who is Charlotte without a belt, and really we should be exploring that. But I don't think the belt should be going on Ronda, because honestly, she does nothing for the division. She completely destroyed the Raw Women's division. I don't want her doing that to SmackDown. Ronda, if she is such a big name, doesn't actually need a belt. She could just have matches and feuds outside of the belt, and you could put the belt on someone else.
It's like saying Brock Lesnar can have feuds outside the belt, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, which he should.
Yeah, but he won't.
Yeah.
Because Ronda's in the same position as Brock in Vince's eyes.
Yeah,
Ronda's
but Ronda's
a megastar and an attraction. To have a megastar and an attraction, they can only be in Vince's eyes in one position, which is in the title picture.
Yeah, but we all know Vince is sometimes an idiot.
Yeah, but it's still his company.
He's a billionaire, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this one is going to surprise people. I think that it being a submission match will play into Ronda's hand massively, because obviously Ronda is a submission specialist, what she was in the UFC and stuff like that, right? So she is used to drilling submission moves, not just putting them onto people, but drilling the positions, moving around. And if her and Charlotte have put any practice in, which they potentially would have, then it has got the makings to be a good chain wrestling match, because whether you like it or you don't, Ronda's a world-class grappler. Whether that translates into wrestling or not, she's a world-class grappler. And I think this match will translate into that, you know, I think, Nick?
I think this match has got a lot of potential. One, the fact that it's an I Quit match, I think, protects Ronda from any in-ring issues.
Yeah.
It really does, because they can just go balls to the wall, weapons, do whatever the hell they like in this match. So that protects Ronda in that respect. As you say, regardless of professional wrestling, on a mat, that woman knows what she is doing. Like, she's triple black belt in judo, whatever the hell else it is, jiu-jitsu, major wrestling, amateur wrestling. That woman knows what she's doing on a ring mat. If they decide, as you say, to have a proper chain wrestling match, what's Zane say?
I fully agree.
Oh, shut up, Zane.
Yeah.
I agree
Not
with
even
Zane.
hearing you, still.
Eddie Kingston needs to go and get a wash.
I fancy Eddie Kingston. Just putting it out there.
Whatever strums your plum.
He's very attractive.
Yes, Nicholas.
I've completely lost what I was saying. Thanks, Bam. You just totally thrown me off.
I think he threw up in his mouth a bit then.
Eddie Kingston is attractive. That makes you question my entire outlook on life.
Right, anyway then, let's wrap this up now, guys. Let's have your thoughts on this one then. Charlotte or Ronda, Nick?
Ronda. It just makes sense.
Bam?
Charlotte, because Ronda will ruin the division.
I'm going to go with Ronda because I feel like she'll pull the division a bit forwards more. Kev, yeah, we're all well, mate. Hope you're doing well as well. Thanks for watching. Well, anyway, that is going to be the end of that, guys. So thank you for watching. You're doing a great job. Bye. Take care, Kevin.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, mate. Appreciate it. Wrestling Bejeebus is going for Ronda. And that's it. Well, guys, that is going to be the end of our podcast for this week. Please do join us tomorrow. There will be a watch-along live with some of the guys. Nick, I know you're doing a watch-along, are you not?
I will.
Yeah. And we're going to have live... Look, can't even think now. My mind's gone blank. We will have live coverage on the website as well, guys, and we'll have it all over the WrestleBuddy site. So keep on joining us for everything. Go over to WrestleBuddy.com. Some great articles there. Si's just written a really good article over there.
Yeah, fantastic.
Bam keeps the website in lovely shape for us as well, which we all appreciate. There's some bits here. Wrestling Bejeebus, great job, everyone. Very enjoyable. Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Russ, take care, mate. No worries at all.
Later,
Good
Russ.
to see you as always, buddy. WrestleBuddy family, that's what we love to see. Right, guys, so as I say, join us, Court as well. This was awesome, guys. Love you all.
Thanks,
love you,
guys.
Court. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always. Yeah, also check out the Meet the WrestleBuddies episodes, guys. Some really good ones on YouTube there. If you want to get to know us better and see what we do and how we got into wrestling, etc., go over and check them out. Really, really good. I've enjoyed watching every one of them. I also enjoyed taking part. I think that's going to be back tomorrow. We've got the coverage, live coverage on the website. We've got the watch along on YouTube. We've always got you covered for all your wrestling needs, so make sure you join us then, and we will see you again, same time, same place next week. But for me, Bam and Nick, it's where we wave.